Hey Mafia, you guys are listening to Breaking Tables, episode 12, Catastrophe at the Cactus Bowl. This is Brian.
And this is Mark.
Sorry for the voice, folks. Mark is in Tampa right now, so he's just calling via voice. We're going to have a lot to talk about. This game was crazy, for the lack of a better word.
Ouch.
I feel my emotions are everywhere right now, but we have a lot to talk about, and we got a special visitor. Before we get into that, this episode is brought to you by STW Performance in Fort Lauderdale. If you need servicing or anything done with your vehicle, performance-wise and better, transmission, you need to go there and reach out to my boy Joey.
Right away.
And he's actually our special guest of the show. Joey, welcome to the show. You're on Breaking Tables.
Thank you guys for having me on the show. It's a big pleasure. This is Joey over at STW Performance. Anything you guys need, you can always come there for any lift kits, speed shop. We do everything performance-wise, general maintenance.
So if you got a small go to Joey and he'll get your truck lifted.
Oh, we'll lift that son of a bitch. We'll do it right, too. Get you all the bells and whistles you need to get them girls.
We'll make your confidence feel so much better.
Yeah, if you need them mud crickets, we'll get you them.
But seriously, he does great work. Visit my boy Joey at STW Performance in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, guys, look me up on Instagram. We got some great stuff out there.
Great to have you. And also, this episode is brought to you by Yacht Lifters of Fort Lauderdale. Mark, talk to us about Yacht Lifters.
Your go-to spot for any yacht lifting needs. Anything in the backyard that you need, your dock, your boat lift, your seawall. It'll be done professionally and on time and at the best cost, which is why we're also here in Tampa Bay working on Tom Brady's yacht lift, because if Tom Brady can trust us, then so can you.
Right, because we would never, ever, 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 ever tell you to forget a bolt or a screw off that lift. Just, ever. We would never say that, ever, because
it never happened.
Never would happen. That's why you guys are the best. And that's why he reached out to you based out of Fort Lauderdale and you're in Tampa. That means a lot. So that's badass. And take a picture with your Bills gear on so we can post this on the website and our page, bro.
Alrighty.
So in this episode, Mafia, we're going to be talking about this Bills-Cardinals game, what we liked, what we didn't like. We're going to get into a few different topics today because Mark is over in Tampa, so he's not really hands-on. That's why we got our special guest, Joey, just kind of throwing a couple, bumbles here and there. But we're going to get into this game. We're going to talk about offense, defense, what we would have done differently if we were Sean McDermott. So this episode, we have a lot to talk about. We're obviously going to get over this game, this fucking catastrophe that we call a loss. We're going to get over, things we like, what we didn't like, the offense and defense, special teams. You're part of the team too, buddy. So we're going to talk about you. We're going to do a little segment that you're going to hear from all of us what we would have done differently had we been born as Sean McDermott. And we're going to obviously talk about games to come, going to the bye week. We all know that. Nicknames for our boy Tyler Bass. And last but not least, we got a couple Mafia. I don't care if you listen or not. I'm sorry, but we got some things to say that you post in public that other people are reading that you should not be part of that group or you should not be posting because, sir, my friend,
you got to explain it.
You got some explaining to do. You're definitely should not be in the group, and you call yourself a fan. But we'll get into that. You're listening to Breaking Tables. Let's get it done. Boom. Mark, Joey, this game. Talk about a roller coaster of fucking emotions. I mean, all right, yes, we lost 30-32, but it's not that the Cardinals won that game. The Bills lost that fucking game. Josh Allen still played what he had to do. He 65%. 284 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and he even caught a pass to go rush it in for a fucking touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, the roller coaster of emotions was for real. You guys called me.
Yeah, and for the record, normally when we watch Bills games together, so it's me, Mark, and our buddy Joey, we always watch Bills games together, and this is the only game where we haven't watched it that played on a Sunday. And we ended up losing. Joey, what's your thoughts on that one, man? Because you were there with me.
Dude, it was absolutely heartbreaking.
Mark's not answering his phone. Like, what's Mark doing, man?
I broke something that I paid for the night before. But
it was we can tell our guests you bought this brand new and you got so upset you fucking smashed it on the ground. You're like, why can't you hit this ball down like, oh, fuck this
It was honestly a complete accident. I had taken my hat off and thrown it, and in the amazing rotation, like a Josh Allen pass, it caught the lip of it and smashed it. But yeah, that hurts. It was the second hurt of the night, I guess you could say.
Are you sure that wasn't one of your Jets or Dolphins hats?
Oh, Mark, that's disrespectful.
Just for our listeners, our friend Joey, he is a self-proclaimed Bills Mafia. We kind of joke at him because he doesn't really have a lot of Bills gear. So does not having a lot of Bills gear qualify you as a Mafia? I mean, yeah, I guess if you could ruin Heart. Poor Joey.
Hey man, I don't make as much money as you guys. I mean, you guys are pulling in that bank over there, that Skrilla, whatever you want to call it.
I don't think it really matters as long as you can take getting made fun of a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, he's a good friend of ours, Mafia, and we always watch games together. And this is the only game that Mark decided not to watch a game with us. So going forward, I'm gonna apologize, and on behalf of Mark, he has to watch games with us the entire fucking year, Mafia. So when you see this post and you listen to this, send him a text, send him a little DM or tag him. Mark, you better watch him with Joey and Brian.
I agree.
Yeah, my fault. I'll take that one on the chin.
Right, because who else is going to take it on the chin?
Well, I mean, we won at one point.
We were winning. 34 seconds left. We were hugging each other, Joey. We were laughing.
I don't know. People are going to say whatever, but that's not a loss in my book. It's a loss statistically, but it's not a loss. I mean, that was a miracle. That was whatever, that was DeAndre Hopkins, and that's why he's one of the greats, I guess you could say.
Did you turn off the game, Mark, at 34 seconds, or were you glued?
No, I was glued. I think honestly what messed it up was I think Poyer came in late and just smashed into the pile, which basically just smashed Trey White off of the pile, and he didn't have a chance to
It was a freak play. And when we get into the defensive side of things that we like and we didn't like, obviously a thing we're going to bring up is that edge rush. How many times did you watch Kyler Murray do his little spin move and whoops, gone, he goes. Whether it's run the ball for 61 yards that he got or throwing that ball, making a play. He's doing what Josh Allen did. Josh Allen won that game, and it all went to shit at the end, with a very fluke probability fucking minute play.
They're both really good young quarterbacks, and Josh did what he had to do. He can't be on the defensive side as well with 34 seconds left, and he couldn't waste any more time. You need to get that ball, and it wasn't a 5-yard pass, and it was like a 25-yard, 30-yard pass for a touchdown at the end. I mean, what else can you do? Like
that meme where, what else you want Josh to do? And you see Josh Allen just jumping in there and kicking that football away.
And the one that pissed me off the most was it said, the Arizona Cardinals chance to win the game probability 10% after we scored, and then it said 99% chance after they scored. No fucking shit, bro. There were 2 seconds left. Obviously, probably I could be a freaking statistician too if it's just stupid stats like that.
Yeah, it was complete bullshit. They won that game. Congratulations to that improbable play where it shouldn't have came down to the last play. It should not have.
I still think it just shows a lot about our offense's resiliency to come back, our whole team's resiliency to come back and score and put ourselves in that winning position. It's not going to happen often. We're a miracle like that. So, I mean, how many times have we been on the winning side of that recently when we knocked the ball out of Cam Newton's hands and we won the game when they were on a winning drive? You know what I mean?
Well, here's devil's advocate here. What would you say that even though we lost the game, wouldn't that be considered a moral victory? Because that's gonna light a fire up these boys' ass.
It's a moral victory for sure. We wanted to come into the bye with at least one of those victories me and you talked about, and we almost had both. We really put ourselves in a position to have both. So I don't think it's really much you can put on a knock about the Buffalo Bills after a loss like that, but a lot of good takeaways.
Joey, what do you think, man? Talk to us, brother.
The game was just a whirlwind of emotions. It was crazy. Our offense was on fire. It was absolutely on fire. I mean, you can never count out our offense at any time in the entire game, at any point besides the third quarter, apparently.
Well, that brings it into things that we like and we didn't like. I mean, offense has been doing fucking awesome. They after those 2 losses, the one on the random Tuesday fucking night, and then against the Chiefs on a Monday night, we are still undefeated at 1:00 on Sundays, boys. Mafia, ladies listening, we are still undefeated 1 o'clock on Sundays.
I agree.
Our undefeated claim is getting a little more narrower.
Yeah, well, small victories, Mark. Small victories.
On leap years, we are undefeated on Wednesdays on odd years. Did you guys know that?
No, that's a weird statistic or whatever it is.
I was standing on 1 foot the entire time that game, so
Shit.
I am sorry. Maybe that was the reason why we lost, is because I was standing on 1 foot.
Which foot was it?
Left.
But Jupiter was in counter rotation.
And Uranus was like 65 degrees.
Right. So you should have definitely stood on the other foot.
Well, Josh Allen, he did what he had to do. 32 for 49, 65%, 284 yards, 2 interceptions. You could see him that he was just trying to do a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, and there was a couple more balls that, what's his name? Who's the guy on the Cardinals? The DB could have picked him up. Peterson, is it? Peterson?
Yeah, Peterson.
Patrick Peterson. He had a couple more chances for some picks there, too, and Josh had to give him the third one.
Yeah, he almost had I believe it was the diving grab where he almost had that and he missed it, I believe. But but Josh Allen, I believe he had 20 passing touchdowns last year.
Yeah, got 20 now.
He's got 21 through 10 games this year.
Suck it, PFF.
Think about how amazing that is for him to evolve at that point. I mean, 21.
10% additional better completion yards than last year alone.
I mean, how many yards does he have passing this year? Like 2,817? Like leading
Mark,
the NFL?
Mafia, Joey, he is number 1 in the NFL at passing yards.
And, yeah.
And our boy Stephon Diggs is number 1 receiver in the NFL.
Receiving yards and receptions.
Yeah, Josh Allen is number 1. We need a little help on our rushing game, though. We don't have anybody on the list.
Hey, so the first quarter, we're up 7-3. And then we're kind of trading field goals back and forth, which is good. Our first half, offense and defense our defense is pretty stellar. Offense, a little abysmal, whatever. It is what it is. They'll either going to play really good or they'll wait till the last quarter to fucking do all right. And it wasn't until the third quarter, after we were up 24-9, where Josh Allen threw that first interception, and they started coming back, 2 touchdowns unanswered, and a field goal unanswered. There's our Buffalo Bills third quarter defense again that we kind of have been talking about. It's like, we don't want that. We don't want that third quarter offense or defense. Well, the offense did fine, but the defense is just like,
Got to skip the third quarter. Just move right on.
Can we just skip the third quarter? Why don't we just, if we're going to be that bad, let's put it in our fucking second string then. Give them a rest of the fourth quarter so we can shut them out in the fourth.
Sure. Something's got to be done. I don't understand how that kind of stat can just keep happening. Like, is there really something that different about the third quarter for our team?
Listen, we got a bye coming up, Mark. Mafia, we got a bye week coming up. We're 7-3 going to bye. We've got things that we're going to try to solve, and McDermott's a great coach. He's going to solve them.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good. We had a pretty good selection for the bye week this year. Week 11's not bad.
How about Tyler Bass, Mark? Tyler Bass, second quarter?
Not ass, man. Not ass.
Bass, not ass. I tried to do that thing on Twitter, try to tweet about it, but never caught on. But there's a lot of nicknames out there. Some are pretty good. And we kind of have a little list together on things that we can call Tyler Bass. What do you think, Mafia? Mark, what do you think? Bassmaster.
Bass-O-Matic.
Bass-O-Matic. Bastarbator.
Yep.
I'm all in on that Bass ain't ass.
Bass of the Mohicans.
Shake that bass for me. Shake that bass for me. Shake.
The Big Lubaski.
Kick Bass, both 1 and 2.
Gerbastic Park.
The Bassinator.
The Bass of Zorro.
He's got that bass tag.
Bass Knuckles.
Basquatch.
The Man in the Iron Bass.
Bass, the Greek mythological god of kicking. Things we liked and things we didn't like from the offense. And I'll go ahead and say, by the way, guys, the OL had 0 sacks given up. That's pretty badass.
That's the first time this year, if I'm not mistaken.
That is the first time this year.
That's good on Josh and good on the O-line.
Josh Allen, with that 1 interception at the end of the third quarter, would really kind of force it in there. And that added up 7 points to the Cardinals because they came down, marched it, and ran down the end zone.
that the interception is kind of almost like a 14-point swing, though, if we don't score and they do.
Yeah.
Assuming we do score anything. I mean,
Or that one interception in the fourth quarter where there's 4 minutes and 13 seconds left.
we did get the ball back, though, right?
That's fast.
Yeah, 3:25 for us to march down when Josh whipped at the Diggs in the end zone. And we're all screaming, hugging each other. Me and Joey had so many cool handshakes and high fives. And we're like, holy fuck, these guys are marching down the field. Oh, maybe we should calm it down a bit and let's watch the rest of this game.
Yeah, that was a crazy moment there.
Or when Brian Winters threw that ball, Josh Allen threw the ball to John Brown, 25 yards,
Oof.
first down, right? And Brian Winters gets called back for holding.
You know what play I really liked was that screen play. I thought John Brown was gone.
Oh, yeah, then was it Peterson that came back and tackled him from behind?
Yeah, man, he lit that run up.
On there, dude. He's one of the fastest guys on the field, and he had some leeway there.
Another reason why I can't wait for this bye week, because he got hurt towards the end of the game, and we need him as much as possible. That's how dangerous these guys are.
Yeah, well, Stephon Diggs too. He got a little bit shaken up after that one tackle when he caught that beautiful pass, on the side, and his head just got nailed,
Yeah, happens in football.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that also pisses me off, though, about that offense, yes, Josh Allen is throwing it. Where the fuck is our run offense? Where is this rushing attack? We're up 24-9 in the third. Why the fuck are we passing it? Why are we making a whole series based on passing when these guys they can't get things going? Yes, I understand there's injuries. Brian Winters sucks. We hope we get these guys back in the bye week, but we need to discover our fucking run game. Mark, where is his run game? Do you know where it is, Mark?
That's a good point, Brian. The run game is MIA, and not Miami. I mean, missing in action.
Oh, is that what that means? Thanks for clarifying. I think the listeners would have got confused.
I need to clarify for Joey.
Oh, man.
That's disrespectful right there, buddy.
Look at me all wrong.
Oh,
Do it again. Yeah, we're stabbing eye of the Saturn iron. Oh, Christopher Walken.
that guy's
Brian,
hilarious.
Yeah.
How about your boy, the nickname Third and Cole?
Third and Cole. Talking about Third and Cole. 11 receiving yards for 109. 11 receiving catches for 109 total yards.
How about that Third and Cole moment with the one-handed grab that he had?
In the fourth, to keep that play running? That one?
Drive. Yeah, the big one.
That one, like, he fucking just plugged the tip nipple of it.
Yeah, he's a... what?
The tip nipple.
I love it.
Tip nipple. Cole, Third and Cole, tip nipple.
Not even that, though, but he's on pace for career highs in all categories of all his stats that he could possibly have, which is great. I mean,
he's not really... He's got 3 touchdowns this year, but the rest of all the receptions and yards, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that much. That's fucking weird as shit,
I didn't
Joey.
even look at you yet, you fucking... What the fuck was that shit?
Hey, Mark, you should FaceTime us and just, like, stare into Joey's eye.
It'd probably be easier, because Mark, I'm going to FaceTime you.
No, let's not do that. So, moving on, let's Bo Joe. Did you see that 12-yard punt?
I think I might have went to the bathroom on that one because I was really surprised to hear about that. And
right? When he's kicking down the field like 100 million yards, and here he is with a 12-yard punt.
I kind of wish I was taking a piss during that punt, to be completely honest with you guys.
Yeah, well, I think it was Joey's fault that he kicked that 12-yard punt because, Joey, we're just going to blame it on you because Mark loses the game. You lost that punt. And
I wasn't taking a piss, though.
Exactly. You should have.
If he was watching it, he might have not missed it. It's like,
what's that, Mark?
Like that catch.
That's a lot better than what I'm getting blamed for, Joey.
Yeah. I think Mark wins the trophy. He gets the participation award of not hanging out with us in the loss. So
yeah, hanging out in the dark. Were you even watching the game, Mark?
Yes, Joey.
Okay. I know.
You know who you do? You're on our podcast right now.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Well, here's a fun little fact, gents. The third quarter. Okay, so we're up 24. We score 7 points, up 24-9, and they just come back with unanswered points. We are outscored this whole season, 30 points to 76. And actually, my buddy Neil over in Tampa, Like, this is the first thing that he sent. It was during the fourth quarter of the game. He sends me a message, and I was like, fuck, man. What are your fucking thoughts on that one? Because I know what the Mafia's thinking. They're like, holy shit, that's terrible. How do you win? How are we 7-3 and we give up that many points in the third quarter?
That's a question for McDermott right there, and Leslie Frazier, and Dayball.
Yeah, but honestly, hasn't it always been like that for the last, I would say, 5 years? I mean, we've never been a second half team. Since I've been alive. Brian, you've been watching the teams a lot longer than I have.
It's been, we've always been known to be a second half team. Always the comeback. Absolutely. It's always been the second half team.
The comeback, but we're dead in the second quarter, and then we come back in the fourth quarter.
That's just this year alone. I don't think we always come out strong in the third. I can't remember a time when we were this bad in the third.
Last year against the Texans? I mean.
All right. Was it during the playoffs, the game?
No, it was during the playoffs.
Collectively, over a period of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's always been that way, but it's previously since, whatever.
So you can name one time, Joey. You can name one time.
Come on, I can name another one right now. Los Angeles Rams. We didn't lose, but we were up 21 or 29 points.
No, a victory is a victory.
I agree.
That's this year, though.
We're talking about that they're bad in the third quarter, but Josh Allen's a fourth quarter player. We're not talking about that. At least they won that game. They won that. So,
yeah, I know, but I'm saying...
And we were number 4 defense last year.
We lay a goose egg in the third quarter is what I'm saying. In the second half.
Number 2 the year before.
Quarter. If we're down, we come back and win. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it was the same case against the Cardinals.
We can agree Josh Allen's a fourth quarter player.
Yeah, 100%. You can never deny that. If there's any quarterback you would want right now in the fourth quarter, it would definitely be Josh Allen. Period.
Well, Callum Murray, I can't call him a midget because I'm going to offend people.
Little person is the...
That's terminology?
The little person's accepted vernacular.
Well, I mean, honestly, you should have heard the shit me and Joey were saying on this guy. I give him props. I'll give him props. He won the game. He's a good fucking quarterback, but this little gizmo running around, wee, 2 for 32, good for 68%, 245 yards, 1 touchdown passing. Obviously, that put the dagger in all of our hearts, and 2 rushing. Kenyon Drake gashes us for 100 yards, 16 carries. Bro, he's averaging 6.2. Go back, look at all these stats that we're playing, and I can probably guarantee 90% of them are all down that middle.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what we were talking about. If you look at that whole game, highlights, whatever it is, every big play they made was up the middle, whether it was a run, whether it was a slant, no matter what it was, all up the middle.
Mark, would you fire the defensive line coach?
I don't know. We've seen a couple good flashes here in the last couple of weeks here. We got to get the running game fixed. We should have picked somebody up during trade deadline.
No, defensive line. Defensive line. We're getting gashed. All these teams are running on us.
Yeah, we've been able to get to the quarterback with the defensive line, but we haven't been able to stop the run up the middle.
That's what we're getting at. We're missing Star Latulele.
Yeah, exactly, Star. And
because they weren't doing this last year or the year before. They were not running down. No team runs down the middle of Buffalo Bills. Nobody.
Look at what we lost. We lost Phillips. We lost Shaq Lawson. We lost Alexander. We lost Star this year. It's not just 1 or 2 players. There's 4 starters that are missing in the middle.
Yeah, they try to put piece players together instead of paying out, but I guess they had other plans. They knew they had to pay Trey. We had to secure him for sure, That's...
And I will drink to you guys. Cheers, Mark. Are you drinking over there, bro?
No, not yet, because I just got back from working, so I got to finish up. And
got to take some pictures for the website to show our listeners. The one thing our defense did good, though, we sacked Murray 3 times. The 3 guys were...
A.J. Klein,
Justin Zimmer, and I think Taron Johnson.
Yeah, no, definitely Taron Johnson. I know he had one with that blitz on the side. That was nice. A.J. Klein,
he must have been going through his Twitter messages and DMs and all his hate mail. He had another solid game, 10 tackles. He led the team, and he got a sack out of it.
Yeah, but you look at the 10 tackles he had with the amount of tackles I saw him miss. he probably would have had, at least 15, to be honest with you.
That's another thing that they got to figure out, Mark, is who teaches these guys how to tackle? How many missed tackles do we watch over and over again? How many games do we see these guys missing these tackles? I mean, obviously, we would get ran over and be called Josh Norman against Travis Henry, but these guys who get paid millions of dollars to tackle, they got to go back to fundamentals, bro.
They might be graduates from the Helen Keller School for the Deaf and Blind.
Where the referees go to?
Yeah, they might go to the same university.
I almost got accepted to that school, man.
Yeah,
I didn't get accepted though, man. They said I was below the standards, I guess.
Didn't qualify.
I didn't qualify. I couldn't pass the STAs or whatever they're called.
Yeah, he didn't know his name.
Well,
yeah.
Jordan Poyer got that interception, which he had that ball early in the first quarter. When they settled for a field goal, he had that ball right in his hand and it dropped. That would have been 2 interceptions that game.
Yeah, he's a baller, man. There's a reason that they traded him or named him the defensive captain this year over Hyde.
And one thing that I really, really like is that Dane Jackson kid. Ooh, bro,
he's a bad boy.
He's complete. Mark, Joey, the kid is competing. How about that one shot
that
where
end zone
Murray
shot?
throws it to Hopkins and there's Dane Jackson going
swatting it.
Not today, kid.
Right off him.
We talked about it when they brought him up that they're not going to be able to bring him back to the practice squad because he's going to have to clear waivers.
And what's going on with Milano? Is he on injury reserves?
Yeah, he's on the IR, so I think he has another week or two before, with the bye week, he might be able to come back after.
That's something we got to look into. Keep an eye on that. We need to get him healthy.
Wait, what was he on the IR for?
Cody Ford's going to come. His pec has still been bothering him.
Still?
Yeah, he was out, came back in, and he's out again. Let the guy sit. Let him get healthy. I'd rather lose to the Cardinals right now, going 7-3, week 10 going into a bye. Sorry, was it week 9 or week 10?
Week 10, I believe. Yeah, 10.
Week 10 going into a bye, losing to the Cardinals, who are going to make the playoffs. Think about these 3 teams that we lost to. Chiefs, Titans, Cardinals. Guess what, Mafia?
They're all great.
Joey, they're all going to the playoffs. They're all going to be playoffs.
Yeah, that's not a bad couple teams to lose from. We've been beating some pretty good teams for the Dolphins, the Rams. And, I mean, what else can you do?
Well, wait till we get to our segment. But some of these guys that post online, it's like, Mafia, before you hit send, maybe talk to a friend. Like, hey, maybe, should I post this? Being a self-proclaimed Bills fan, should I do this? Let's get a second opinion before I do something stupid and be called out on our show.
Right. Hey, Brian, off of the cast, I gotta wrap it up what I'm doing right now because the other guys and everybody my dad's trying to get out of here and go get some food.
All right, bro. Hey, Mark, we'll talk. We'll finish up the show. Thanks for calling in, brother, and we'll do another episode for Mafia when you get back in town, homie.
All right. So thank you guys. Thank you, Mafia. Tried to call in as long as I could, but I got to roll and go Bills.
Go
right,
Bills.
Peace out, Mark. Don't miss a bull. All right, buddy?
Don't say anything stupid, Joey.
Hey, take pictures of you and I should have brought Josh Allen with you, bro. That way you can be like, he can hold it. He thinking like, oh, look at this guy. He's holding a goat. He must be thinking of me. Then he looks at the Bills jersey. Oh, that's Josh Allen.
That would be a good one. All right, guys.
Later, bro.
Love you guys.
Peace out, Holmes.
Bye-bye.
Go.
So that brings us up to Mafia. Let's not hit the panic button. Joey, we're 7-3. We're going into a bye week. Okay? Guys get healthy. Fuck, the Chiefs who won the Super Bowl last year, they were 7-4 going into a bye week. And they came out, beat every single person, including the team to be in the Super Bowl.
Exactly, and they played great too throughout the whole season. They got healthy. Every team has their bumps and bruises. It's going to happen. That's why it's a 16, 17 game season. People just everyone hits the panic button. It's 3 losses to 3 great teams. I mean, seriously, what Titans AFC Championship game? Correct?
Yeah,
you know?
well, even the people are bitching about, like, oh my God, the Miami Dolphins are right behind us. Oh, even if they win, Mafia, even even though we're going to bye, they've had their bye.
Exactly.
They got to play out. They've had their bye.
And they have to rely on a rookie quarterback with 0 playoff experience if they even make it to the playoffs. I'll say that. I'll go that
And so, all right, let's just play for all the naysayers. We're 7-3 coming out of our bye. They're 7-3 if they beat the Broncos. It's if. That's a big if they beat the Broncos.
Yeah, and do you see our remaining schedule? I mean, it's difficult, but I think it's extremely doable.
Well, we're still going to win, or we're still going to be leading the AFC East just because we beat the Dolphins, folks. And we've been saying, Mark and I been saying since, go back to episode 3, after we beat the Dolphins, like, they're a solid team. People were like, oh my God, you beat the Dolphins. Yeah. They're on a 5-game win streak going against the Broncos.
Who do you think is a better quarterback? Do you think the Tua or Fitzpatrick right now? I mean, if you look at the stat wise, I mean,
no, there's no way. Only way Fitzpatrick is going to see another game is if Tua gets hurt again, or he just has that game where he just gets interception after interception after interception. But I think Tua is there. Tua's going to start. Tua's going to start the remainder of the year unless those things happen. If he keeps playing that Tyrod Taylor type offense where he's not being risky.
Yeah, that's the
let the defense win the games. Let special teams win the games. That's what the Bills were doing year 1, Sean McDermott.
Look at the teams that Fitzpatrick had to play, and then look at the teams Tannehill's had to play. I mean, he hasn't had an easy schedule, but I mean, Fitzpatrick balled out in every single game, even when he played us. I mean, we were there. That was a crazy game. We were on our feet the whole game.
Yeah, it was insane. It was a good game. It was a hell of a game.
Hell yeah. And
we said since that game, that was week 2. We said that game that these guys are going to be, you're going to be right. It's 1990s all over again where the Bills are number 1, the Dolphins are number 1. And let's compete who can get the Super Bowl out of the AFC East.
I'm excited to look at that. I'm excited to watch that.
So here are our remaining opponents that we got to face. All right, we play the Chargers coming out of this bye week, which we're going to have another episode, possibly even 2 before that game. So, Mafia, we can wet your ear holes until we play again. So, and thanks for listening. We play the Chargers. Herbert's been rocking up 300 yards per game. Nasty. Guy's going to be, he's a rookie quarterback launching balls left and right. They're still losing games, so they don't really have it. And that's Anthony Lynn, who also coached the Bills.
And then you got the 49ers, man. The 49ers, they're banged up, man.
Yeah, Garoppolo's out. Who else is out?
Last year, man. Oh, you got Sherman. Sherman's out.
We have to beat those. That's another team the Dolphins destroyed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Then we got the undefeated Steelers. You're looking at 3 weeks until we play the Steelers, and the Steelers still have a chance to keep their undefeated record going. They're doing something special over there. It's going to be a tough one. Right now, we're 7-3. All that means, Mafia, is we can be 13-3 on our way to the Super Bowl. But we have to go through the Steelers. All that means if we lose to the Steelers is we're going to be 12-4. So I don't see us losing to the Chargers or the 49ers. But if I had to circle a game in the next 3 weeks, it would definitely have to be the fucking Steelers because they're playing their game. But can Ben Roethlisberger last that long this season?
I don't think so. I'm looking at the Steelers and I'm thinking, if there's any team that we're going to make a statement about, especially coming off of a bye week, it's going to be the Steelers. I mean, we played great against them last year, let alone that, yes, they had Mason Rudolph playing for them. That didn't really count, I guess you could say. But they still had a killer defense and a killer offense, I think we're going to make a big statement against the Steelers. I really think we're going to take that game home.
Now, let's keep it on our calendar wish list. Let's get through,
it's too exciting.
1 week at a time, get healthy out of this bye, go play the Chargers, show them what's up. 49ers are so banged up, it's ridiculous. And then we got the Steelers. So after that, we got the Broncos, who the Dolphins are playing next week. Then we finish up with Patriots and Dolphins. We already beat the Patriots.
We already beat the Dolphins.
And we already beat the Dolphins. So will it come down to who gets AFC East at week 16, week 17?
Did you see the Dolphins' remaining schedule?
The division is not ours yet.
No,
Oh yeah, they play the Broncos, Jets, and Bengals.
They're not going to beat us.
Dolphins play the Broncos, Jets, Bengals. Then the Chiefs, Patriots, Raiders, and the Bills.
Those are not 4 easy games. Let alone, don't forget the Patriots just beat the Ravens. I know it was a little bit of a snowstorm or whatever, but that's regardless. You know, good teams find a way to win no matter what.
Division is not ours yet, though. The division is not even ours yet. So we can't be celebrating. We gotta go. We gotta do what we have to do. McDermott's gotta figure something out for our defensive line. He's gotta figure something out for our rushing offense. Where the fuck is our rushing offense? Where Singletary was hurt most of last season and still put up 800 yards.
I'm pretty sure he led the league in yards per carry. I'm almost actually positive about that. He was definitely up there, you know. But what about the pass defense up the middle or run defense up the middle? The middle of the field is always taken apart.
Yeah, that rush defense, and that has been our that was our weakness. That was our Achilles heel the entire season. If you look back at all these plays, where all these big majority of plays are rushing, are either through that middle nose tackle position or the left or right. It's like anywhere close to the middle has been a Achilles heel to us.
Look at the 3, I believe it was 3 or 4 plays before Kyler Murray threw that miracle ball. And that's what I'm going to call it, because that was a miracle ball. That doesn't happen, okay? That happens once a year. That's why it's for almost the play of the year. That's
why it's called a Hail Mary. You got to spray and pray.
You're praying when you throw that ball. I mean, all 3 of those plays were 20-yard plays, basically 20-yard plays up the gut. You know, all passes, too. You know, you got to have someone at least in that middle or something. With the run, too, it's the same thing. You know, we're invisible up there.
Well, what do you want to see when we go into this bye week? Besides, obviously, everybody get healthy.
Well, I want to see our defense and run game come back. You know, I mean, I get we lost a lot of players last year on the defensive line, you know, that put up a ton of sacks and pressuring the quarterbacks and, you know, run defense. But we got to do something. We need to change our identity, because we're getting extremely, I guess you would say, predictable, you know, especially when you're throwing the ball 49 times a game. You can only do that so
I know.
much.
Hey, what are they going to do? I think they're going to throw the ball.
How many rushing plays do we have, Brian?
Josh Allen, 7 for 38. That averages of 5.4. Zach Moss had 20 yards, 7 attempts. You're good for 2.9. Devin Singletary, 4.15. 3.8. I don't even tell your fucking stats.
But how is it good run, though?
How is a QB who number 1 is showing you how to run? If that's the case, you get paid to be listed as RB. RB1, RB2, whatever, running back. RB stands for running back. Guys, what's going on? And when we get into this bye week, I think that should be the number one thing that we figure out. How come we're up 24-9 in the third and we're still passing like crazy, heavy passing? You can't blame the offensive line, because we've got one guy that's out, Cody Ford. Everybody else is fine. You're telling me that because Cody Ford is not in there, you can't run the other way? So yeah, even though that we are 7-3, the Chiefs were 8-4.
And they came out in an undefeated season, Brian.
Yeah, after their bye week. 8-4 for their bye week. And they came out there fucking dick slinging and going, we're going to beat you, Super Bowl contenders, champions, here we go. And they got a $500 million quarterback.
And do you know why? Because they got healthy after the bye week.
Yeah, guys, we're 7-3.
We've been banged up, too. Look at our team. We had Mitch Morrison concussion protocol get hurt. We had all this COVID stuff going on. I mean, our season hasn't been roses, you know. There's been bumps.
You know, we also got to sit there and look at that third quarter defense being outscored that much, 30-76 in a third quarter. How are we 7-3? So instead of, you know, saying a lot of shit that you shouldn't be doing online, you probably should like sit there and like maybe ask your grandma upstairs before you talk shit if it's okay for you to post things like we're going to be talking about in this next segment.
Yeah.
But these guys are 7-3 going into a bye week. We got banged up guys. We're sitting all right. There's no reason at all to hit this panic button.
Yeah, some of you guys say on what we're gonna get into is absolute blasphemy. I mean, you guys should really, like he said, go upstairs and ask your grandma, who's hopefully a Bills fan. She'd probably smack, grab you by the ear like mine did.
Grandma, I want to be a tough guy and post on social media. I consider myself a self-proclaimed Bills Mafia fan, but I'm going to talk so much stupid shit. It's like, please, guys, Mafia, we love you. Well, thank you for listening, and you're probably not going to be a listener after this episode unless you delete the stupid shit that you say online. But Andy Watt, Trey Day got his payday ever since he got his trash day. Why you got to be saying things like that? Weren't there 3 guys there, Joe? Was Trey White?
Trey White, Jordan Poyer, and Micah Hyde. 3 of the best D-backs in the NFL.
34 seconds left. A improbable play.
A Hail Mary, Brian. A Hail Mary. We're not talking about it was a play action pass to the right corner and they hit him on a single coverage post. We're talking about he threw this ball up.
Game plays that you see once
a year
to twice a year.
Play of the year, Brian.
Out of all that has to be the play of the year. So good for the Cardinals.
Sure,
so that's why the Bills did not, or the Cardinals did not win this game. The Bills lost it.
Exactly. This was a.
And also, before that? How many touchdowns did Hopkins get before that 34-second?
I think it was 0, Brian.
Left
I'm
on
not for sure, right?
Was it 34 seconds? No, it was like 11 seconds left when they threw that play.
Yeah, literally.
Well, whatever.
Seconds.
He had zero touchdowns
the whole game.
So he did what he had to do, and he's continuing to do what he has to do. He's still playing shutout Trey White. So Andy Watt.
Besides that, our DBs.
Let's not be silly, bro.
Our DBs shut down every wide receiver. Okay. Don't get me wrong, they had a couple plays, but did they score a touchdown on a pass?
How about this guy, Joe Downs, Phoenix Bills Mafia here. People talking crap about Kyler Murray. Show yourselves, man up.
You're a dick.
Well, so are you a Kyler Murray fan now, or Bills Mafia? I don't get that question.
I think he has a big forehead. I think that's why he likes Kyler Murray, honestly. That's the only thing that I can honestly think.
I love me some big forehead.
I know, seriously. Like, why are you even on the Bills Mafia?
Oh,
page?
you're under 5'9"?
He's not even from Phoenix, dude. So I don't even get Phoenix Bills Mafia here.
Yeah,
what does that have to do with anything, dude? I don't understand.
Just like think about things you post before you do silly things like that, bro. Joe.
Wait, is he from Phoenix? I don't think he is.
Well, nobody said anything about Kyler Murray being he's a good quarterback.
He's just got a big forehead, and it's funny to look at.
He's a good quarterback, but I don't think anybody's talking shit here. Nobody said, "Oh, Kyler Murray sucks at life because he made that Hail Mary throw." Nobody said that, Joe.
And he's 5'6".
Let's move on, all right, bud. Next time, ask your grandma if it's okay if you can post on social media going forward.
Ask my grandma.
And then Leslie Davis says a timeout, no tall players for. What do you say? Leslie Davis. He threw a timeout. No tall players for that Hail Mary. McDermott needs to apologize for this one. He lost this game. Good game, Bills players. There are no words. Oh. So obviously, you're not as bad as Andy Watt and Joe Downs, Leslie, but it's not McDermott's fault.
You got a big misconception, bud.
If anything, I'd blame Frazier. I would say, Frazier, Josh Allen won the game, 34 seconds left. And you're blaming Sean McDermott for not having you want Gabe Davis, who did nothing all day out there?
But like that other gentleman, he said on it, and I should have pulled it up. I thought I screenshot it or whatever. But he said, and I agreed. I said the same thing to you before. It's amazing. We had the same exact thought. It's like, first of all, is there an I in team, Brian?
No.
I'm pretty sure there's not. Josh Allen threw 2 interceptions, okay? You could blame Josh Allen for that. There was missed tackles.
He wants those back. He definitely wants those back.
There was blown up plays. The one thing you can't do against Kyler Murray is to let him on the outside, which is what happened. Mario Addison, whatever. Who cares? It happens. We understand. He's a fast quarterback. He's small. He's probably pretty easy to miss. But.
Doug Flutie was 5'7", 5'8", same size.
Animal.
And he took his team to the playoffs too. He did what he had to do.
But what we're saying, honestly, man, is like you're going way overboard. This is a team. It's everyone. And everyone's to blame for this.
And we're still 7-3.
And we're still 7-3.
Let's just go ahead and leave that there.
And we're going to come back stronger.
So you're not as bad as the other two, Leslie, but let's just not blame it all on the coach, okay? The whole team lost that game on an improbable miracle play.
Brian,
Okay?
I like this guy right here. I like this Matthew.
So here, Mafia, is things you probably should do to get everybody's spirit, or even kind of like negate all these idiots out there like Andy Watt and Joe Downs. Matthew Bartolotta writes, another Bills loss, so embarrassing, in that sarcastic font where one's lowercase, one's uppercase.
It's always SpongeBob.
Always SpongeBob
Always
with
SpongeBob.
that look with the hands behind his back.
Like a Kyler Murray forehead look almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Shut up. We're 7-3, not 0-10. Stop saying another loss as if we lost 5 in a row or something. It was an amazing catch on their side, and yes, our defense didn't do well. We get it. Either accept we're 7-3 or go bandwagon on another team.
And that's what it is.
Drop that mic, bro.
For real.
Matthew, drop that microphone, because, guys, think about it. We are 7-3. We're not going into bye week 4-6.
What do you mean? Did you see what everyone said our record was going to be coming into the season?
Look at all these self-proclaimed professionals.
Like 6-10 people were saying, like, what?
PFF
Yes.
had Josh Allen as like the 24th fucking quarterback this season, and look at him now. He leads the NFL in passing yards, and I think he's top 10 in completion.
I'll get into this for some of the gamers because I'm a Madden fanatic. They rated Josh like 77 overall. Do you know how disrespectful that is? As a Bills fan, as anyone who knows a good quarterback,
With an arm at 99.
with an arm at 99, but with the accuracy of 73, that's baloney. Okay, that's bullshit. That's not Josh Allen. Everyone has seen what he's done this year. He's amazing.
Guys,
MVP.
Guys, we'll be fine. We will be fine. If one of those 3 losses were to the Jets, all right, make fun of us, because the Jets are 0-9 right now.
Yeah.
They haven't won a damn game, and we lost to teams with good records. And here's another fun little fact. The teams that we have been, out of any winning record team, we've been the most winning record team than any other team that has a winning record.
Yep. And that's the
4.
positive
That's
thing
4.
I don't get how people
So we
negative.
beat, out of the 7 wins, we beat 4 of those are teams that are above 500 win record, and lost the 3 of those 500 record.
Think about the
that are probably going to be in the playoffs.
You grew up through like the golden era, I would say, and then like, you know, when I really like got of age, you know, and I was always a diehard because my dad was, you know, but then, you know, think about the hard times we've had, and then we finally, the last 2-3 years and spurts of other years with, you know, sometimes we thought with Rex the Bills were going to be great, but now we actually have a solid team the last 2 years, and we've done great. And why can't just people be happy is my question, you know. I don't understand. I think that you have to take it as it comes.
Yeah, obviously you weren't a fan for those 17 years if you're upset over a loss to a winning Cardinals team who are going to be in the playoffs, whether you like to believe it or not, going into a bye. We're 7-3. Guys, move on. Move on. Great game, guys. Hell of a game. Let's just maybe almost a moral victory, like we mentioned.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Like let's let this loss fuel these boys up, because they're the most competitive people that are out there right now.
Did you hear what the Cardinals fans did?
The one Cardinals fans like, all right, guys, listen, win's a win, great game, Buffalo, but let's all contribute to Josh Allen's O'Shea Children's Hospital, which is pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure we did the same thing too. I believe it was against the Bengals. I think the Bengals had to lose.
Andy Dalton.
And we donated a bunch of money to Andy
Dalton. So that was just
foundation.
They're just passing the the next good thing.
That's love, man.
That's you know, guys, NFL brings us away from this crazy world we're living in with this pandemic going on, with everything stressful in lives. We have football to take us away from that. Yes, your team wins, you feel good, you feel euphoric. We lose, fuck. But let's not take it on everybody else, because there's always next week. There's always next year.
We've lost 3 games. We have no reason.
No panic button hitting.
Yeah.
Mafia, if you guys are still listening, thank you so much. This is Brian. Sorry Mark's not here. Joey, I'm glad you were able to hop on.
Brian, it was my pleasure.
You guys can find us on social media. You can Google us. We are everywhere. We are top 20 Bills podcast in the U.S. Thank you, Mafia. Signing out. Bye-bye.